And I think this program uh, has helped so many businesses rethink about how to pivot, how to innovate and still survive. Uh, Cash flow is important. Cash management is important. Some of the things that we are doing in this program is incredibly helpful to these businesses during this pandemic. So thank you for Aston and the faculty for delivering this program, especially in this changed sort of atmosphere when one of the key element I remember last year when we had those events, those sessions in London, and we all used to stay back after the session, enjoying a few drinks, but also just networking, socializing, and that helps entrepreneurs connect with each other. But we have tried to provide some sort of online support to them, virtual support to them. We had some drop-in sessions after each of these your sessions to bring people back. But I always say that nothing can replace face-to-face, because the warmth you get, the relationships you can make is amazing. But looking at what the challenges we had, I think we have done great work on bringing these entrepreneurs together. But also, most importantly, I think uh, all the 20 entrepreneurs have given their time out of their busy schedule to be on this course, which is really useful, because it's very easy to get away from virtual commitments. It's so easy to get, we can sign up and we don't turn up. So it's really the time they have given. I'm sure that they have value. They've got value out of this course. So thank you so much. And I'm going to not keep Janice away from answering all those questions that we had, but just to introduce Janice to everyone. Uh, Janice Bryant Howroyd is the founder and chief executive of the AgileOne Group, a global leader providing customized cutting-edge solutions in the human resource industry. The AgileOne Group is a multi-billion-dollar award-winning international talent and talent technology enterprise with multiple divisions: Apple One, AgileOne, A-Check, and AgileOne Gov, that each service unique areas of employment and talent management solutions. Janice has been recognized as the first Black woman to found and operate a billion-dollar company. She was the first ever BET Honors Entrepreneur of the Year. In 2013, she received a White House appointment to serve as United States Ambassador of the Department of Energy's Minorities in Energy Initiative. In 2016, she received an appointment by President Barack Obama to the President's Board of Advisors on Historically Black Colleges and Universities, and continues to serve in that capacity. In 2019, Staffing Industry Association recognized Janice as 2019 Global Power 150 Women in Staffing. The Global Power 150 list honors the female policymakers, business persons, technologists, and crusaders who continue to shape the industry. Beyond her work as a speaker, author, and business leader, Janice passionately champions education, entrepreneurship, and community development. She has served as a U.S. Ambassador for the Department of Energy's Minorities in Energy, U.S. International Trade Advisory Commission Board, and was appointed to the Board of Advisors for the White House Initiative on Historically Black Colleges and Universities. In addition, Janice was appointed to the Advisory Committee on Diversity and Digital Empowerment for the Federal Communications Commission. Through funding scholarships and investing her time, Janice supports several universities, including Howard University, University of Southern California, California State University, and her own alma mater, North Carolina A&T. In addition, she is actively involved with several women's organizations, WeBank, the trusteeship, and groups that serve minority populations, NMSDC, Urban League, LADC, and is the main sponsor of the MSD UK Building Business Leaders of the Future program. Her accomplishments and support, both personal and professional, are inspired by her deep faith and love of family. As she says, one cannot effectively lead without passionately serving. Janice, thank you so much for sharing your time today with these budding entrepreneurs. And maybe I'm inviting you to share a few thoughts before we start the Q&A.
Wow, Mayank. First of all, my first thought is the friendship that you and I developed all those years ago met some pretty unique characteristics for me. Number one, I'm not that I meet everybody friendly, but I don't bosom in with people that quickly. And for some reason, you and I just clicked so quickly. And I have to tell you, um, being your sister is incredible to me. I take it as an honor. I take it as a privilege. And you've invited me to talk, but wow, do I learn from you every time we're together. So congratulations to MSD UK for not simply surviving through this new time that we're in, this pandemic moment, but importantly, thriving. Everything is bigger. Everything is bigger at MSD UK. You and I work toward the day when the stuff we do in this arena isn't needed anymore. We just happen to know that every time something happens, people understand more about the work we do in this arena. So thank you, thank you. And congratulations to all the business leaders. The investment you're making in yourselves, not that MSD UK, not that AgileOne Group is making in you, the investment you're making in yourselves is going to pay off phenomenally. I made the same such investment years ago through the Tuck School as a part of NMSDC, which is how I met Mayank. And so I know where I'm talking from. I'm not simply throwing stuff out from my head, although data matters. I'm throwing it to you this morning. I'm sitting in Southern California, so you may see me put on sunglasses in a minute because the light will come streaming through my office. But for right now, we're good. And my heart is so full for you. I'm going to also introduce you to Brian Clark in a minute. Before I do, I want to just share with you a truth that I've learned, and I think all of us can take from here. So I know classroom is over and you've earned your certificates, but if you've got your devices or pen and paper, I do want you to write it down, and I'd love you to share it back with Mayank and me as far as you care to share, and Mark, because Mark will be incredibly important to what we learn from you, which is basically I'm asking you to tell us what you've learned about your truth. So I'd love you to just scribe at the top truth, TRUTH. And the first, and this is an anagram, I'm anagramming it out for you. The first bit is about togetherness. Before we went into COVID, many of us understood the idea of togetherness. What we know now is that togetherness is vital. Where we've not come together, regardless of business, politically, socially, financially, we've suffered. And where we've come together, we've grown. Your question is, what has happened for me in terms of togetherness? Some may be too personal to share. It may be that working from home was just a bit too much togetherness with the family and you're ready to get out again. But others may have learned different ways to think about togetherness, and how it works for you as you build your business toward the future. The other truth I'd love you to I'd love you to take out of this COVID moment is around resourcefulness. Now, Mark talked about resiliency being one of the strongest subjects that you guys encountered. I want you to think about your resources, and as a business person, naturally you're thinking about them in different ways depending on where you are in your business. We can do ours in a very projected way, and we can hold leaders accountable at Act One. Maybe your business is younger than that, and maybe your resources are basically your networking system is stronger than your financial platform. But I want you to really think about the strength of your resourcefulness. And these are going to offer you gaps that you can continue to fill. The U in truth is about understanding from 4 positions. What do I understand now about my business that I didn't before, that I will take forward? What do I understand about my industry? What do I understand about my customers? And this is the big one. What do I understand about myself? not that la 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 understanding. We all know that we've got to come together. My favorite song in the world is a John Lennon song, Imagine. So thank you, UK, for John Lennon. I know the rest of the world loves the Beatles. I happen to be in love with John Lennon and his song Imagine, more so now than ever. The T, the next T is actually a whammy because it is about tying technology to toughness. How well have you done that in COVID? Have you gained or lost clients because of your technological advantage? Have you been able to keep employees? Have you learned that some folks can't work from home because of circumstances that are beyond your ability to support them? And how do you think about that going forward? And then the H is about honesty. What does your business honestly look like right now? And where do you honestly position yourself to lead it forward? These are the things that you have to ask yourselves. These are the things that Brian and I continue to ask. We had an honest conversation about where we invest our resources and our executive time, inclusive of our work that we do within the company. It gives me the perfect moment on thinking about the truth of our organization to introduce him to some of you and reintroduce him to others. Because when I approached Brian about his organization actually being the one in my company to fund building better business leaders, business leaders for the future, it just really was so heavy on my heart. And we sat down and we had to do the head work on it. And he saw the head work in it. And we tied the head and the heart perfectly. So before Mayank and I have our conversation, truly, I want to, the truth of where your funding comes from is Brian's organization. So Brian, if you can please appreciate us for a moment on this incredible graduation that Mark and these students are achieving. I think you've earned the honor of it.
Of course, Janice, thank you so much. I really appreciate just a moment to say hi to everybody and to offer my congratulations. What a great program this is. And it's so wonderful to watch it over these last few years as it continues to grow and develop, and to see each of you as you have come through the program and continue to grow your business and to continue to really understand what's going to help you take things to the next level. It's great to see some people that were a part of last year's class. I was reflecting on the differences when we were in London together last September, and now here we are virtually. But it really, when we talk about gratitude, I'm so thankful for technology, as Janice was talking about, that we have the ability to still meet together like this. Imagine if we had this pandemic hit, even 10 years ago, but certainly 20 years ago, we would have not been able to do something like this. So from that perspective, I'm very, very grateful. We've heard some key words today. When you think of, we've heard resiliency, we've heard innovation. As I read as I read Mayank's sign behind him, and the word aspiring is there, I think that really is so important to where you want to get to, and having those dreams and putting in the work like you're doing now. It really is exciting. That tagline of making ideas happen is what today is all about. And again, I just want to offer my congratulations. You've been putting in the work. You are learning how to make your ideas happen and to be successful. And AgileOne and the AgileOne Group are so grateful to be a part of that, and so thankful to Mayank for the opportunity we have to partner with him on great programs like this. So thank you again, Janice and Mayank. I will turn it back over to you.
Well, Brian, thank you from Atlanta. I'm here in California, and you guys are spread across the UK. Mayank, hey, we've come a long way, yeah?
Absolutely. I remember when we met I think it was in Munich, when at the MSD conference in 2018, when we just had that moment, 10 minutes over lunch. with you, yourself and Brian, and we discussed about this program. And I was talking to you about, and I discussed about, Janice, your legacy, and you are a role model for so many aspiring entrepreneurs. And, that was my easiest in my lifetime when I just spoke to you, and within 10 minutes we said yes, we are going to do it. So thank you to both you and Brian for trusting me, trusting MSD UK, and I think the results are here where we see these entrepreneurs, and Mark putting together a great program. So thank you so much. And for today, I think what we did was we asked all the entrepreneurs to think about any questions they want to ask you, and request you to share your thoughts around those questions. And we've got a great lineup of
Are they
questions.
going to chat these questions into the chat, or how do we do it,
No,
Maya?
I'm going to take one question each. I have got all the list of questions they have sent to us, and then we'll have that for the first half an hour, and then we are going to open up for any other questions they can put in the chat box.
So at MSD UK, the students get questioned, and so do the sponsors.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Let's have at it. Let's have at it.
So the first question that has been put forward is, as a business is founded and grows, the challenges don't get easier but different. If you could do it all over again, Janice, what advice would you give yourself for each phase of that growth and of that business growth?
Wow. Okay. So a little bit of what I just shared would be the answer, to be very certain that you understand. So there's several things at the beginning of the building a business. It's really important to understand that you're not the only one investing in that business. I'm believing that most businesses, regardless of whether they are minority-owned businesses who come from an entrepreneurial spring, are coming from people who maybe don't have the financial resources, maybe they don't have the immediate role models in their homes or communities. And so much of what they're going to experience and they're going to have to deliver from will be characteristics and things that they don't naturally bring to the table that others may. I know for myself, there were many circumstances where I had not been familiar with some of the things or the protocols. And I remember the first time I sat in a boardroom and had to talk with enterprise level, or what you call corporates. It blew my mind that all of a sudden, the confidence that I had outside that boardroom was starting to waft away a little bit as I realized all of these people are paying attention to me, and everything that we're banking on is riding on how I relate to them right now. So I think I truly would say that it's important to understand that you're not the only one investing in your business, and to appreciate that. Brian used the word gratitude. That's very big where we live in our company. And I think that would be important to remember to be grateful. It's easy. Like, I come from a faith-based place, so I pray a lot, right? It's easy for me to pray asking, but I also have opportunity beyond prayers of petition to offer prayers of gratitude as well. And I think that is so important. And it could be, you're talking about what's easy. It could be easy to think about that, but easy isn't what you're going for here. You're going for an outcome that really allows you to continue to grow. I teach that solutions are simple, but simple doesn't always mean easy. It's quite simple for me to say, live in gratitude. Remember to stay in gratitude. But simple doesn't always mean easy, and I get that. As you grow your business to the point where you've got more than 10 employees, different things start to happen in it. And that doesn't matter whether you were growing it when I started mine in the 70s or you're starting yours now. For instance, today you can be an international business day one. Technology has completely changed the scope of how we live and how we work. So I would encourage entrepreneurs today. Back in the day, we used to say location, location, location. You wanted a really good location and you paid high rent for a high street location. I would say pay attention to your web presence. Okay. So your SEO becomes very critical as a business, search engine optimization. Make sure that you're giving diligent attention to that, because commerce is not going to go back to the way it was. We want to go back to some of the emotional engagements we had before COVID, but it's taught us a lot as well. And so different types of businesses are going to thrive based on location than did before COVID. But it's very important to give attention. And when I say make sure that you are optimizing your position on the web so you can be found quickly and easily, I'm also encouraging you that if you've got taglines, if you've got names, that you need to grab the ownership of those, get them copyrighted, do whatever you need to do to make sure they belong to you, because there are large companies who have fully resourced departments that do nothing but search all day for a better hashtag, a better tagline, a better name, and they grab it. And if you've not bothered to invest the small amount of money it takes for you to actually own it, you could end up to register your names, your hashtags. You can end up building a business that now you've got to defend your right to the name of even. So I would encourage you on that as well.
It's interesting.
The other thing that's important at any stage of your business is once you get beyond yourself as the employee and you're now hiring others, be bold, be demanding to hire people who have better talents than you do. Entrepreneurs oftentimes feel that our brand and our heart and our ideas are what built this business, and so the business can't survive without us. Your business will survive a lot better if, when you're hiring, you hire people who know more than you do about what they're doing and who can bring a sense of energy and enthusiasm for the culture you're looking to build. You've got to check in on your culture each step of the way of building your business. That becomes very important now, differently in some ways than it was before we all learned to work from home. So that's going to be important. And yeah, I talked about gratitude. Remember to be thankful along the way. No matter what you're going through, somebody else is going through something that you can be helpful to them in. Where I grew up, we called it doing well and doing good at the same time. You don't have to build your business into an incredible empire in order to offer assistance to someone who is simply at the startup phase. Do well and do good at the same time.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I think one question I would like to ask, and this is because I, you know, you, I talked about how MST UK has grown significantly over this year, and we started with 6 people, and now we are a team of 12. And what would you advise organizations like us who are growing to build a team when everyone is virtual? How do you bring that team bonding when everyone is working virtually? It's so difficult for people to know each other. What would you recommend us to do to bring the team together more it's that whole building the team culture and values when we are all working remotely.
It's so exciting to address this. It can be intimidating. It's also exciting to address this, my young, because when you look at a team like MSD UK, you've got a lot of new people in a quick amount of time. And so uh, there are a couple of things that I would encourage you to look at. Several things I would say. Number one, you need to revisit the mission and make sure everybody understands it and they understand their role in it, what it is they do. And they don't understand it unless they can actually measure their success in it. Because we all brought this client in, or because we all delivered this program, is not the measurement I'm talking about. That's the expectation of the organization anyway. How do you measure the individual contribution? That can look scary right now when people are figuring out new ways to do things. But if you can't measure it, uh, the individual can't feel as confident that they are actually delivering. I'm not talking about it in a way that says you reach this level or you're out. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about being very clear. They understand where their role is to the mission. It's vital that you revisit your culture and see what work needs to be done to not only sustain but enhance that culture. More businesses fail for lack of people buying into the culture than they do people having skill sets that grow with the need. Most of us hire really smart people as we're building our organizations, or if we have companies that are under 20 people, simply because we have to. Sometimes these are people who we've known for a while, and the business starts to grow, and you have to look deliberately at whether the reason a person joins your organization can sustain as the reason they will want to grow with you. In our company, we looked at, will what got us here get us there? Write that down. Will what got us here get us there? And when we asked that question at the end of 2019, I think it was mid 2019, we started asking that question in our company. First of all, a lot of the folks, including executives and peers of Brian's, started to interpret that as, well, who got us here, get us there. And that can become very scary. So that's why it's important to do the first thing first that I encouraged you, which is to make sure everybody knows what measurement you're using for them and how to measure themselves. It has to be very transparent how you measure success on the individual. Very transparent in a small organization, because you can get quickly caught up in favorites. Then the second thing becomes about making sure the culture is healthy. And will what got us here get us there? That's where you can ask that question handily. The other thing that I think is really important, my young, for all of us, not just a small business, not just an entrepreneurial business, is to research the market on a daily basis. Don't think you know what's going on. Don't think you know what's going on at WeBank, at NGLCC, at WPO. Research the market and know what's going on. Who are the corporates who support you? What are they gaining from you? What are they going other places to gain? And that's not built from a spirit of competing against. It's built from a value of understanding where you are and how you can innovate forward. That becomes critical right now. People are going to overlook that because they are going to be very quick to look at just those things that help them survive over the next 18 months. It's important that you research your marketplace. And then this kind of lines up, the last thing that comes to mind for me lines up with the idea of gratitude, which is make sure that the people who are helping you get there feel appreciated. That can be definitely the people who work in your company. It also has to be the people who are a part of your network and a part of your success system, including your own family members. It's vital that you remember to say thank you to people. And a lot of people are getting really positive response from folks when they are sending them messages to let them know how they're doing in this year, what their plans and their confidences are for the coming year, and how valuable they've been to it. And it's not attached to a gift. It wasn't a tin of popcorn. It wasn't your mother's rum cake that you cooked, your Christmas cake. It was simply the letter saying thank you, you know. Um, and that's interesting for me that folks are doing that and feeling very much appreciative that they got a handwritten letter instead of a note at the bottom of a pre-printed card or an electronic thank you. Um, Now here we've had issues in the US with the post office getting mail slow. I don't know about the UK or wherever the businesses are located. I still think people like getting that letter in the mail, and that's really different. I mean, we even had ideas about whether it was good for the environment to send those letters. But if we're going to be judicious, I think folks like the long form. Maybe it feels like a hug to them.
I received a card today, business card from one of our business associate, one of the certified business, and it was hand drawn by their team, and it came in the post with a nice hoodie as a way of saying thank you. And I was so happy to receive that. It was all handwritten. It wasn't so, that made my day. So yes, you're
Yeah, you see, and I had no way to know that, but I just know that people are really feeling that. There are people who don't even remember their longhand, but they print very well. But people are really
yes.
feeling that in this moment. And by the way, when your business is incredible, folks are going to pull it out and they're going to put it on eBay and say, "Hey, look, I got this handwritten." It'll be like me getting the original script for Imagine from John Lennon.
uh, some interesting questions that I've got. One is, how do you know once you have taken a business as far as you can take it? How do you know that?
Here's some things I think can signal you. One, if you're not as enthusiastic about it, it's okay to go to bed really, really, uh, I'm not going to do this anymore. But you got to wake up the next day thinking there's nothing else I want to do. So the enthusiasm you wake up for with your business, that's the enthusiasm that people are going to feel about it. And it requires that to grow. Enthusiasm in a business is like sunshine in an orchard. Okay. So you've got to bring it. The another signal for you is, number one, financially, how is the business doing? If you're not able to keep the business growing, you've got to be able to match that against what your personal sustainability is against the growth of that business. You don't want to create problems for yourselves that extend far beyond bad credit. I mean, your goodwill is very important for an entrepreneur or any professional. And so if you're doing business in a financially irresponsible way, even if you bring responsibility to the business but can't grow it, you've got to rethink that, because that's going to live with you for a long time. Your employees, if you have employees, are going to let you know, and they will do that through the signaling of their own productivity, their enthusiasm, their relationship with each other, the build up or fall down of the culture of the business. You'll see that as well. I talked about what truth you bring from COVID, and the H was about honesty, the honesty of where you are in this business and your ability to lead your business. If you look to the notes that I gave you on honesty, and I gave you 4 of them, test your business against each of those, and that will truly help you. By the way, I do that myself for my business even now. I know I'm looking all young and fly to y'all because I'm sitting in sunny Southern California with the sun streaming in on my golden locks. Oh, I better not pull too hard, they may fall off. In any event, the truth is, though, that I have to consider, for my own business, where am I in the leadership of my business? When does will my business have to beg me to leave, or will my business beg me to stay? when I leave. And so I'm being very thoughtful around the same question that that your student is asking, my young, and it is one of the healthiest questions you can ask yourself. I will say that regardless of what the answer is, be grateful for what you learn. It is a lot easier to make a hard decision yourself to leave than to have others have to make the hard decision to ask you to go.
Great positive note to end this conversation, Janice. Uh, what can I say? I'm truly honored and humbled to have you share your journey, an honest journey, an honest discussion.
Thank you for the honor of supporting this incredible, and we've been using the word incredible ever since our last meeting, my young. I think we'll probably be laughing that we'll use it for so long, for it is truly nothing short of incredible what you are doing, what Mark is doing, and what these business leaders are doing. I'm excited. I'm happy in this season, and I'm joyful for the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.